Hey guys, so an interesting point I'd like to make is that food is not entertainment. Food should be enjoyable. The body, enjoys drinking water. It's enjoyable. I'm so thirsty. Oh, that glass of water felt so good. That's not entertainment. You derive pleasure from it, and the body gives you that reward because it's something that is new, essential, right? Food is not entertainment, but it has become entertainment. People eat because they want the flavors, and most of these are artificial flavors. They just like burst in your mouth. When you don't eat any sugar, you'll be eating carrots or something, and they'll taste sweet. So food is not entertainment, yet you should be able to derive pleasure from it. We need to breathe. Feels good to take a deep breath. Feels good to go take a nice big dump. So all of the natural processes that the body requires usually will give us rewards for accomplishing the task of nourishing ourselves and taking care of the body. People see the carnivore diet and the ketogenic diet as a restrictive diet because they don't know the difference between the signals that a healthy, not metabolically screwed up or hormonally deranged, a healthy body, there is a big difference between cravings and true hunger. In the West, in the modern era, with the high carb, low fat, everything is carbohydrates. We know most appetizers are carbohydrates because they make you hungry or they don't make you full. You have a big fatty entree and the food doesn't get to your plate fast enough, you're not even going to eat the main course. Food is not entertainment, yet it should derive pleasure. So when somebody looks at the carnivore diet or even the ketogenic diet, they say, oh, well, that's like super restrictive, aren't you bored? Yet when we look at Weston Price's research and healthy, isolated from modern philosophies and ways of living, every single one of these healthy indigenous tribes and cultures would be considered on based on our recommendations and guidelines and our paradigm of nutrition would be restrictive. They would be criticizing the Swiss, the Gaelics, the Eskimos, the Maoris, the Maasais. Optimal, the epitome of human health and physical optimalness, right? These people, for example, the Swiss, they were living off milk products from ruminant animals like goats and cows, and they had rye bread. That was pretty much the gist of it. A little bit of meat. They probably cycled out the cows once they stopped producing milk, and they ate meat. Not because it had to be limited, it's just that it was valued and it was limited. So food is not entertainment. However, with my so-called very restrictive and limiting and not sustainable diet, I crave meat now. I crave butter. I'm very satisfied with eating shrimps and butter and beef and bacon and eggs. To me, my body craves that, and because I'm not getting false, weird signals from, these addictive carbohydrates telling me to eat more, I'm hungry, I'm starved, I'm hungry, I'm starved, cravings. Once that is out of there, and I believe you just naturally, because you're eating human appropriate foods, you just naturally recalibrate yourself. Your hormones recalibrate, your hunger, your appetite, settles down. You're not getting the cravings for the foods that you shouldn't be eating, but then you eat and you feel guilty. You don't have these issues. So we shouldn't, just like sex, okay, we could look at it as a very sacred act that can produce life, and you can look at gangbangs on Pornhub. It's the same thing, but one is being used in a very addictive and destructive fashion, and the other one is quite natural. So obviously it's natural for us, you know, to eat food. But to try and derive dopamine and pleasure, to stave off boredom using food, food is not entertainment. The purpose of food is to nourish your body with what it needs to function, to build and maintain itself. Essential fats, the essential proteins, the fat and water-soluble vitamins, and many other, but those are the primary things. When you go in the morning and you're like, okay, this is what I eat in a day, you have to go in your head and say, vitamin A, where am I getting that source? Okay, my B vitamins, where am I getting those sources? What about vitamin C if I'm totally carnivore? Keto, no problem, you can get the vitamin C because you can have some berries and you can have some fruits and stuff like that. With the carnivore diet, you can get vitamin C from cod liver, you can get from fresh meat, you can get from ruminant animal livers. So there's definitely vitamin C just in red meat, fresh red meat, and you only need 10 milligrams. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of make that point as I was driving. I was like, you know, food is not entertainment. It has become entertainment. But the purpose of food is to go through a checklist in your head and saying, have I avoided the excess amounts of omega-6 that everybody else is consuming? Good. Have I introduced a good source and a frequent, every day after day of omega-3 fatty acids? Am I getting those essential fats in a proper ratio? Am I eating complete proteins with all the essential amino acids? If you're eating animal food, don't worry about it. It's complete. And the fat-soluble vitamins need to be absorbed with fat because they're fat-soluble. So being fat-phobic means that you're really not absorbing to the full potential your fat-soluble vitamins because you're avoiding fat like the plague, even though there's very important fat-soluble vitamins. So I noticed, let's say, for example, vegans, they're running after cravings for food that is essential. Therefore, they're constantly trying to mimic animal foods. Here's the meat base, here's the hot dogs, here's, you know, every single thing. They're making recipes, they're trying to make all sorts of versions of what their body is signaling, like, hey, stupid. You know, before science, we weren't confused. Do you understand the irony that now that we have science, which is supposed to be adding knowledge to humanity, which it can, but it can be misused. Science has confused the crap out of us. Our stupid dumb cat and dog, a chicken, know exactly what they should eat. And us, the epitomes, you know, the ones, you know, the atheists that are like, there's no God, I'm God. You know, we're so freaking smart that we don't even know what we're supposed to eat. You know, food is not entertainment. Food has a purpose, and when you're eating the appropriate foods, you will still get a reward feedback. But there's a difference between a lot of stuff we do. You know, scoring a goal in soccer increases dopamine. Dopamine is supposed to be excreted. However, when you do cocaine and you're blowing out your dopamine and your dopamine receptors, that's not normal. So food is supposed to bring us enjoyment, but it's not supposed to be such a dopamine explosion in your brain once you're eating these synthetic junk foods that the you know, they know exactly how to mix up ingredients and macronutrients to create addictive foods that make you hungry really fast because you know, they want to make money. Food is not entertainment. It has a purpose. Go through your checklist. Am I getting my vitamins with the food I'm eating? Am I missing stuff? Vegans eat because it's tasty. It's like they don't care that there's nutrients that are completely missing from the plant kingdom. It's okay because we have supplements. We've evolved from pond scum to monkeys, from goo through the zoo to you, right? And we can just evolve, and we're evolving into supplementarians. We can, you know, we have supplements now. Who cares what the original human diet is? It doesn't matter. You know what? We have supplements for everything you need. And then you can hug the little piglets and you can feel spiritual because you're vegan.